Sup, parties and hardos. Back at it, the regular episode 34 for y'all today. Spinny your man's Paul Pierce. Call this Paul Pierce episode.
Let's go. Cooper pants and all. Let's get it.
We're actually going to start this episode, though, with some breaking headlines because there's been a lot of stuff going on, especially in the NBA world. But we're going to start with the baseball world. That's the World Series, obviously. Last night, the Astros took a 3-2 lead. This has been a great World Series so far. I mean, we had extra innings in Game 1. We had first ever World Series no-no, first ever postseason combined no-no.
Second World Series no-no.
Really?
First World Series no-no, but someone threw a perfect game. Don Larson, 1965 for the Yankees.
Okay.
Want to say that?
That's crazy to think about. Perfect game in the World Series.
Let me look it up. Make sure I'm not jipping you,
but this is going how I thought it would so far. I mean, up 3-2, potentially to close out tomorrow. They play Game 6 in Houston. I thought it'd go 6 here, and I'm hoping they get the job done.
You did not think it would go 6. Get the out of here.
That's cap.
Don Larson of the New York Yankees against the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1956. That was not a perfect game, just a no-hitter. It's a second.
Okay. Tomorrow we got
65. Sorry.
We got Framber and Wheeler going tomorrow head to head.
Why does it have to be Framber too? Why does Framber have to close me out like that?
You think it's getting closed out tomorrow?
I mean, come on, it's Framber, man. This man has been balling the whole season and in the playoffs. Like I don't know. And Wheeler's sus. So
Wheeler has, I mean, his first game obviously this series was not good, and he has been below his standards, that's for sure, the entire postseason. So yeah, I guess there should be some worry for Philly fans out there, but I don't know. This was a World Series that I picked the Astros, but I didn't necessarily care who wins because, well, I just hate both teams. I don't like Philadelphia fans at all. So I basically hate on all of their teams and obviously screw Houston Astros. But it's gotten to the point with the Astros that it's obviously you just can't even give them hate anymore, right, Spinny? Like four out of the last 6 years they've made the World Series, potentially winning their second one this year. I mean, we can't even hate on them anymore at this point. They've just proven that they are actually this good.
No, there's no hate for the Astros. I mean, there is still, but like them winning another ring is like, hey, it didn't matter, like,
right.
To me, it's not all the same players, obviously, but we still have Bregman and Altuve. So like, we still got some of the main guys in the hitters, but this is vindicating, right? This is like, it doesn't matter. We can do it this way, that way. We're better than you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So in my head, it's a big vindication for Houston, which is a reason I kind of want Philly to win. And I've begrudgingly been cheering for a Philadelphia team in this series because other than the Villanova Wildcats, I do feel the same way about every team for Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to hear, at least. That's good to hear. We'll move on to this NBA news now because a lot of different stuff here to cover. Oh my gosh. Let's start with the more criminal situations, I guess. And that's Josh Primo. He was released by the Spurs. For those that don't know, he's 19-year-old, not even quite 20. Was a first-round pick. I can't remember where exactly for the Spurs 2 years ago, and came over from Australia. He was supposed to be kind of a development piece, but they had a lot of faith in him. They even picked up his last year on the contract. He was supposed to get a lot more minutes this year as one of the first guards off the bench. And yeah, he got released because of allegedly exposing himself to women on multiple occasions. One specific, I think it was a psychologist on the team or something along those lines. She filed a criminal complaint against him, actually, for exposing himself to her 9 times. 9 times.
9 times. Did you see his statement?
What did he say?
his statement was just like that it was false, obviously. Of course he's going to say that.
Right.
But that it was like he talked about, I'm going to pull it up here while you give your opinion, but he talked about like it being because he's seeing his junk through his shorts or like around his shorts or something. Like he was talking about how he was wearing his shorts and related to that's how it happened. And I was like, 9 times that happened? 9 times, huh? Really?
So he's essentially trying to cover it by saying he's got a big schlong and it's just like visible through his shorts. That was seriously his statement?
Yep.
What the hell?
Like that wasn't like his whole statement, and he
right, but that was essentially the gist of it.
But he alluded to that. His attorney released a statement alluding to that.
Yeah, I don't know. The moment this story came out, he said mental health. He was stepping away to focus on his mental health, and then a day or two later, it came out that he's been allegedly exposing himself to women. I don't know. I don't know what side to believe, but if she's going as far to file a criminal complaint, she also hired the lawyer that served the women for the Deshaun Watson case, or cases, I should say, in that situation. Yeah. So it's a serious issue here. And yeah, I mean, the dude obviously has some mental issues he needs to get figured out. I guess I don't know if he's going to be back in the NBA, if he actually does get criminally in trouble here. I don't know, but he clearly has some off the court issues that he needs to get figured out, because you just can't be doing that. You can't just show your junk to anybody you want. That's just not how the world works.
I'm gonna read his statement. It's kind of long. It's about 3 paragraphs, but it just needs to be read. Like it's just his attorney released his statement. Josh Primo is a 19-year-old NBA player who has suffered a lifetime of trauma and challenges. He is now being victimized by his former team-appointed sports psychologist, who is playing to ugly stereotypes and racially charged fears for her own benefit. In the act of betrayal against her young client, Dr. blah, 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 who is 40 years old, falsely claims Josh Primo exposed himself to her during the course of her numerous therapy sessions. The doctor's allegations are either a complete fabrication, a gross embellishment, or utter fantasy. Josh Primo never intentionally exposed himself to her or anyone else and was not even aware that his private parts were visible outside his workout shorts. What makes the allegations even less credible is that the doctor never informed her patient of the purported exposure. She was Mr. Primo's mental health support provider and confidant, a therapist who Mr. Primo trusted. She is much older than Mr. Primo. Why does that matter? With many years of experience as a sports psychologist. It is baffling why she did not bother to tell her patient that his private parts were visible underneath his shorts. End quote.
All right, now I'm even more confused about what to think of this situation. I have no idea.
What?
This is definitely a situation where I'm going to need to
just to be clear,
keep my mouth closed.
That statement sounds completely fabricated to me. Like,
yeah,
I mean, if that stuff's true, I'll take all this back. But as far as it seems right now, given that it was multiple women and 9 times and a psychologist, like I'm gonna
9 times.
What is a sports psychologist? An NBA sports psychologist. You're making a ton of money. You are super smart. The amount of school you had to go through. What it says to her own benefit. What benefit does she have from this? That makes no sense. Like literally no sense. So I think I think he needs to get his crap figured out.
Yeah, I mean, I really have nothing else to say. I would like to see some more information come out on this story, just given how wildly different both sides are, because someone is clearly lying, and
yes, someone is obviously lying,
and it definitely seems like it's
Josh Primo, yes,
yeah.
Like,
Seen under his shorts.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's the interesting approach to take, I guess. All right, moving on to the next criminal situation here. We got Miles Bridges, who pleaded no contest. He changed his plea from guilty to no contest so that he would accept the punishment. And by doing that, he only got 3 years probation, 0 prison time. Spinny, what do you think about this? Just
classic.
Closes his eyes.
It's classic favoritism for NBA players. I mean, like, I don't know. It's favoritism for athletes. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say
no regular guys getting this. Yeah, like I don't know. That's how it seems to me. That's how it should be. This man should be in jail. Like, I'm not saying send him to prison for 5 years or something, but like, he needs a year. Like, I think that's given everything that he did and 3 felonies. That 1 year is not like a huge crazy sentence, and that's not even probably enough, honestly. Like, I'm not saying that's enough at all. In a what I would think world, it'd be like way more than that. But I'm saying that him getting no jail time at all is a complete atrocity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. I don't get it. He obviously has the money to afford good lawyers, so that obviously helps in his case. But yeah, it's not surprising, honestly. This is kind of the expected result here, like you said, given the fact that he's a professional athlete, and this just seems to be how cases with professional athletes are handled. So I don't know. I hope he, at least at the minimum, never sees an NBA floor ever again. I don't think the NBA is quite like the NFL like that, where they're letting guys back in the league. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. That's something to keep an eye on going forward. But I hope he's out for the rest of his career. And that he fumbled the bag. This is all on him. He was in a contract year. He was about to get $100-some million contract because he actually was like starting to come into his own and be a good player in this league. So
he fumbled the generational wealth bag.
Yeah,
that's what
seriously.
He fumbled his grandchildren's wealth bag.
Yeah, absolutely. And
tough looks.
I don't feel bad for him at all.
No, I don't. He deserves it. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Now on to the Nets situation here. 2 stories.
This breaking headlines has just been a ton of Dylan going.
Yeah, seriously. No, me too. Just a bunch of sighs coming from me. First part of it would be they fired Steve Nash finally. And they're moving towards hiring Ime Udoka, Celtics suspended head coach. They haven't actually done it yet, but yeah, they're moving towards hiring. It sounds like that is only, a day or 2 away from being completely and officially done. Spinny, what do you think? I think my opinion is Steve Nash was scapegoat. What is he supposed to do with the drama he has had last year and already this year? Like, what do you want him to do? Sure, he could have been a better coach. There's probably some actual coaching, things that he could have done better. I'm not saying that he was the best coach ever, but I mean, they clearly have issues beyond their head coach. So that's why I think Nash kind of got scapegoated.
Sean Marks will get a ton of grace because he got KD there. He got Kyrie there. Yeah. He was kind of responsible for the James Harden trade and getting him too. So like he will get a ton of credit, but he messed up this roster again. Like I don't understand how you can be this smart to get to an NBA GM job and not understand what you need to win games. Yes, you need those stars, but you have to surround them with guys that can play defense. The Nets can't play any defense. They don't have any wings that can play defense other than Kevin Durant. And you don't want Kevin Durant being your main defender. That's awful. It's an awful team concept. And then they don't have a big. They don't have a rim protecting big that can be physical. There's no physicality on that whole team.
None.
And it's like that's the issue. That's the issue. If they had some physicality, if they had a rim protecting decent rim protecting guy and some defensive wings, they already Harden, Kyrie, and KD with that would have just walked, and then they wouldn't have got pissed at each other, and then Harden wouldn't have got traded because that whole situation would have been very different. But it's like there's so many simple things that you have to do in the NBA to win games when you have stars. And they're little things, and they're very possible to do. And if you do them, you will have a shot at winning championships. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah. And none of that obviously falls on Nash. It's not his fault that
none of that falls on Nash.
Yeah. So he definitely got scapegoated here. To the other side of the story, though, what do you think about
before we go to that? I also just want to preface this with I did think Nash was not that good of a coach, and I thought Kenny Atkinson, the guy they fired, was a good coach. So they kind of messed that up low key in my head. But yeah, I also think, given all the craziness of the situation, he is a scapegoat, even though he probably didn't perform his best.
Right, I can agree with that. The other side of the story, though, hiring Ime Udoka, who is the investigation still ongoing? I think, isn't it?
I want to know. I just flatly don't believe that the Ime Udoka situation is just him having a consensual relationship with someone that worked under him. Now,
right.
number one, that is a suspendable offense by itself and probably not okay. But morally, in my head, it's not the worst thing ever. Like, yes, it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. It's bad, obviously. Cheating on your significant other is bad. Having a relationship with someone you're in a superior position to is bad. But whatever. Coercement and weird other things that have been floated around that he has said and stuff, that's like, you should never coach in the NBA again bad. So there's like a difference between like suspension bad, figure your crap out, and never coach in the NBA again bad. And that's where I think the Ime situation right now is in the prior, the 1 year suspension or whatever, or get traded to the Nets and play right away. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing that it's not in the maybe he should not coach in the NBA again category. I'm not saying that, and I have no proof of that, but it's just where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's too many people, Richard Jefferson, people like that have said stuff about this that are in the know. There's just too much of that going on.
Exactly. So I think the Nets, they were too early on this. I don't get how you can hire a guy who's still under investigation and is suspended for the entire season. And now, how does that situation work? So he was obviously only suspended by the Celtics organization, right? So if they gave him permission to look for other jobs. So if he does get hired, assuming he's hired as the Nets head coach, he can just step in right away, right? And then
I would think unless the NBA is going to suspend him, but
right, because it's like I feel like you should not be allowed to coach if you have an ongoing investigation against you, and it almost seems like that if he gets hired, it's just going to get swept under the rug, and everyone's just going to forget about it.
Yep.
And I hope that's not the case. But I agree with you. It seems like there's definitely more to this story. And I at least hope at the bare minimum the Nets did their proper investigation and look into it to see if it was viable to hire him. So
Ime Udoka and Kyrie, though, I would pay money to see that. I would pay money to see that shit. Because that is going to be hilarious. Because Ime doesn't, like, this man don't hold back on anyone. Like, he's chewing your ass. Like, it's going to be funny.
Let's jump into this Kyrie then. So that's obviously the next situation here with the Nets. Suspended indefinitely for his recent remarks and oh my God, I don't even want to try to butcher that word. I can never pronounce it. Can you pronounce it? Anti-Semitism or?
Yeah, anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic.
Oh, I did say that right. Okay.
Yeah.
So those recent remarks, he's suspended indefinitely until he meets certain objective measures. I guess I don't really know what that means. I'm assuming taking some type of classes for cultural awareness and things like that. No less than 5 games. So he's suspended at least 5 games without pay. This man is. I don't know what to think of Kyrie. Kyrie reminds me of like Kanye West, pretty much. And I mean, that's obviously the same because Kanye's been saying similar remarks and weird things. I just don't get like why this is like a thing now, today, in almost the end of 2022. Why are these like famous people all of a sudden just like calling out Jewish people? And I just don't get it.
I don't know. I will say Kyrie did pledge to donate $500,000 along with the Nets matching that to the ADL, which combats anti-Semitism. So that was one thing that he did do as part of that. But he will not give a yes or no. He will not say, no, I am not anti-Semitic. He will not say that.
Right.
Which his quote was, I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. What the does that mean?
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? Like, what? I don't know. It's just trying to avoid the situation. And it's like, you can't, like, okay. On a deeper level, I do genuinely think Kyrie is trying to help people. I do genuinely think that. He has constantly throughout his career been advocates for people of color, and especially like the Black community in New York and all that type of stuff. He's done a ton of that, ton of donations, ton of like outreach. I give Kyrie a ton of credit, and I really think he does care about people and is trying to help people. I just think he doesn't get it. I just think he doesn't understand that what he's promoting on his platform, even if what he was promoting from it is fine, you can't quote from essentially a anti-Semitic propaganda piece. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you're saying, it's just like you can't promote things that aren't true, and especially on the huge platform that he has, and expect to not get some repercussions from that. It's like there's a disconnect, because I really don't believe Kyrie's fake. I don't think he's faking all of this like charitableness and wanting to help people and racial inequality stuff that he fights for. I don't think he's faking that. I just think he doesn't get it. And that's almost more dangerous, which is kind of an interesting concept, but it sucks. I just wish he could figure it out and we could get him to get it. And if we could get to that point with Kyrie, I think he could still do some good, but he just doesn't get it.
Speaking of repercussions, one's already happened today. Nike suspended him, and they're not launching the Kyrie 8th, which we're about to come out. I don't know when the date on those, but those were literally about to come out. So those aren't dropping anymore. Month. Yeah. Or maybe they're just delaying it, I guess. I don't know. But they're not dropping it when it's supposed to. He's suspended.
It's just suspended. They didn't like.
Right.
But.
Yeah. So there might be a lot more of his endorsement deals and sponsorships and things suspending him, and maybe even cutting ties if it keeps getting worse, which I hope it doesn't. Like you said, I hope he just figures it out, because his words have meaning. They have power in his standing and position where he's at, a professional athlete. That's, he's known. He's widely known across the league. Millions of people in this country, if you just say the name Kyrie Irving, know who you're talking about. So
just come out and say, I am Kyrie Irving and I am not anti-Semitic. Boom.
Right.
Boom. I do not have any anti-Semitic views. Nothing.
Right.
Why is that so hard? I don't understand why that's so hard. I really don't get it. And that along with donating a bunch of money, going to classes, and not doing it again, is all that anyone's asking of him, is what it seems like to me. So state what you want, understand to not promote propaganda, and donate some of your money to make up for your mistake, and you're good. Like, it's just over and over with Kyrie Irving. You just have to do simple things, and it's fine. Like,
over and
get
over.
over yourself. This is a team game that we're coming back to. Sometimes you have to sacrifice crap and your crazy views to be part of the team. And this is not even that bad. And we're just trying to help them.
It's kind of funny because it wasn't even that long ago that he would like refuse to talk to the media. You know, like after games and stuff, he just wouldn't because he just didn't want to talk to the media at all. And now he talks to media and just spreads propaganda and says anti-Semitic things. And Kyrie, man, just the deep side. Like Spinny said, a lot of size.
I like this guy. This guy was one of my favorite players. And he does so many good things that I like. It's like, just get some help and figure your crap out, brother. And
the Nets need to trade him to the Lakers so LeBron can save him again.
Nah, I hate you. Honestly, though, if that brought Kyrie back to like sanity, understanding what's going on and his sanity, I would be happy.
Yeah,
I would be happy.
For real. Well, that's all we got for breaking headlines. We're gonna jump into trivia, a little one-on-one trivia here. I feel like it's been a while. We've had a lot of guests on lately. We love that. So I kind of want to get a random guest on here sometime. So if any of y'all that we have not met want to be on our pod, be sure to drop comments, reach out. If you have, maybe your NFL season, we're always looking for, or an NBA season now, we're always looking for different fans from teams, and then we can, dive into that team, or, maybe roast you if you're a Philly fan, or
if you're a Philly fan, please come on so we can duke this crap out on this pod. Let's get it.
Yeah, we'll dive into all the Philly teams, all of them. All right, though, trivia. What do you want? You want me to ask first, or you? I'll let you pick.
I can ask first.
Okay.
Easy question. Who leads the NFL in rushing yards?
Nick Chubb?
Correct.
Is Henry second?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was too long ago that I looked it up.
Because that was...
Barkley's second. Henry's
Barkley
third.
Still is? Okay. Hold on while I get a little scoreboard ready. 1 point for me. Spinny, we're going to play your favorite game again for trivia, and that is Who Am I?
I hate you.
The Who Am I game. Easy question. Who am I? I lead the NFL in pass yards, but have been sacked the second most times in the league.
Pass yards.
Lead the NFL in pass yards, sacked the second most times. I threw in the sack thing, so I thought that would help.
Sacked a lot.
Really? I thought for sure you'd get this instantly. Sacked a lot. Joe Burrow is the correct answer.
Okay.
Yep. Justin Fields actually has been sacked the most times, though.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, too. Okay. My medium and hard were tough this week, so we might have to flip the point values if you think that they should be different.
I feel like mine are. I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat though too. I feel like my medium and hard are kind of both equally hard. So we'll see.
So medium question: which college did famous college football game day announcer Lee Corso play at?
Lee Corso
played college football, Division I, Power 5.
Excuse me. Wow. I feel like I have seen this before. This one is tough. I honestly have no idea. I'm just going to throw a random Power 5 school. Let's go South Carolina. I think it's an SEC school. Am I wrong?
It is in the South. It's an ACC school, though. It's not South Carolina.
Miami?
Florida State.
Florida State?
Yep. Seminoles, baby.
What position was Corso?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Don't have the answer to that.
All right, your medium question. Who am I? I am third in the NFL in targets, but I have 0 touchdowns.
0?
I am third in the NFL in targets, 0 touchdowns, and I'm not even in the top 40 for total yard or for receiving yards.
What?
These are real stats here.
Okay, can you read it to me again?
Absolutely. Third in the NFL in targets, so the volume is there, but I have 0 touchdowns, and I'm not even in the top 40 for receiving yards.
So it has to be a bad offense, but he gets targeted a lot. So it's got to be like... Did I get a hint?
Trying to think of a hint. So I don't want to give you too good of a hint that just gives it away.
Is he the WR1 on his team? That's too good of a hint.
I mean, yeah, I would say he is.
Okay.
Also, the Wolves are down by 20 to the Bucks, so that's just nice.
I think I know. It just came to my head, but I think I know. Is it Deontay Johnson?
It is Deontay Johnson.
Let's go. I was just going through bad offenses. I was like, okay, bad offenses, but they still throw a lot. And I just feel like the Steelers is that short pass nation, and Deontay Johnson's that guy.
Third in target, 0 tutties. Not even top 40 in yards. Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. All right, hard question. Which college did Michael Jordan say was his first choice to play at?
Oh.
And it's not UNC, obviously.
This one I've actually... Oh, no. I'm going to get this wrong. This is one I've definitely heard before. MJ first choice.
I thought you might get this one low-key.
Oh, man. East or I need a hint. East or west side of the country?
West.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna go. There's no way it's that. I feel like that would make it too obvious. Let's just go UCLA.
UCLA. See, as soon as I gave you that hint, I was like, that's just too obvious.
Right. But, that's why I said that. I was like, it can't be UCLA. Let's go. I took a 1-point lead. Let's
go. Finally got a hard question right.
I know. It's been a fat minute since I've gotten one. Okay. Your hard question. We're flipping to the NBA now for this one. Who am I?
Is it another? You're just doing who am I's on me all day.
We're playing.
No, you didn't. Game. The whole time. I literally hate you so much, honestly.
Every time I do who am I do it for all 3. I've done it.
Hate you.
I've done this numerous times, Spinnies. Come on. Okay. Here we go. I'm the only player within the top 50 in steals in the NBA to not have a single block yet this year.
What kind of question is that?
What do you mean?
The only person in the NBA in the top 50 in steals without a block. That's your question.
Who am I? So you know it's a guy who doesn't ever get blocks, but can get steals.
Is he like high on the list?
He was like 30-something.
30? It's not even a top guy.
This is a guy that it's gettable. It is gettable. He's a guard that you definitely 100% know.
Is he white?
I'm not telling you that.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious it's a guard. Like, no blocks, but steals.
It is a guard. And I feel like he's got to be white. So,
he's got to be white.
I mean, come on.
I'll give you another hint. Western Conference. Yeah, I'll cut the teams in half.
Western Conference?
Western Conference. And like I said, you already know it's a guard. So
Western Conference. So a white Western Conference guard. I know this person. I know who he is.
100%. 100%.
I'm just gonna get it wrong because this guy doesn't play in the West.
He plays 32 minutes a game. This guy.
What?
He's one of the main players on his team.
And he doesn't get.
He doesn't have a single block yet this year. No.
How is that possible?
I don't know. That's just. I was searching through the stats just to come up with a question, and that thing instantly stood out to me. 0.0 blocks per game. And I was like, oh, you're literally the only one here that doesn't have a block. That's crazy. And I wouldn't have picked this man if you didn't know who he was. I wouldn't have done that. Like I said, he's one of the best players on his team.
CJ McCollum, final answer.
CJ McCollum, that's actually a really good answer.
Can I tell you my East guest? I thought it was TJ McConnell. TJ McConnell just came to my mind right away. Because I feel like he could be in the top 50 for steals. I feel like it's possible.
I don't think he's even been playing that much this year.
Really?
Because he wasn't in the top 50 for steals. So, I don't know. He kind of plays somewhat like CJ McCollum. He's just a scorer. On one of your
steals right now. I'm looking at steals
your sleeper teams. That's it, Hardies and Hardos. I am the victor by 1 point. Good to be back on the winning side of things. I love it.
He's on my sleeper teams.
Not your sleeper, not your fantasy team. He's on a team that you actually like in the NBA.
Oh,
you actually cheer for them, not necessarily hardcore, but you like this team. Can I just tell you, if this is crazy that you still haven't found who it is? You're literally looking at the steals
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Oh, okay.
Spencer Dinwiddie doesn't have a single block yet this year.
Yeah, I do kind of like Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Right. Else for me.
Yeah, I'm finally back on the winning track, even though I only outscored you by 1, so I didn't even close the gap, really. But slow and steady. I'll get back in it.
Nah, never. You're never gonna lead on this. I want to know how many podcasts I've led for. That's what I want to know. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that on here. So we're gonna have leaderboards of how many consecutive podcasts you've led for. It's like weeks led in the NBA, or in tennis. It's like weeks at number one. I'm in weeks at number one now.
Sick.
Yeah, just the most weeks at number one.
Just a rigged stat. Get out of here.
No, weeks at number one, baby. Let's get it.
All right, transitioning out of trivia since Spinny is a sore loser.
I am.
College football preview. We're gonna talk some college.
You want your mini for the Winnie first or not?
I won't even take a whole minute, but sure, I'll say something.
Okay.
So, as y'all know, I coach basketball at Bethany Lutheran College. We kick it off next. Spinny would interrupt me with a weird screech, of course. But we kick off our season actually next weekend. We go to Milwaukee for a tournament, play Friday, Saturday. We got a good squad this year. So anyone that loves basketball, loves especially college basketball, go ahead and check out our games. We're always streaming them on our website, blcvikings.com. And obviously just go to the men's basketball tab and you'll find the link. So check us out starting off the season next week in Milwaukee. So looking forward to that. Now back to the episode. Like I said, talking college football, we got some good matchups this week, including the probably game of the year. I know I said that about Alabama, Tennessee, but now Tennessee plays Georgia. So another insane matchup here. That's the first one we're going to talk about because it's the first game on the slate, and that's 2:30 game. And Tennessee is actually number one. That's crazy to me that they are number one in the college football playoff, but it makes sense with how many ranked wins they have. And Georgia's an 8-point favorite, obviously, given they playing at home. But Spinny, I'm not going to lie to you right now. I absolutely love how Tennessee's been playing lately. I'm taking Tennessee over Georgia. I feel like that might be a surprise to some, especially since they're playing on the road. I'm taking Tennessee in this game. I just love how they've been playing. 4 of their last 5 games have been against ranked opponents, all W's. So I just love the run that they're on right now. Their offense is elite. Jalen Hyatt and Hendon Hooker will have things cooking for the balls tomorrow.
Wow, I am
you taking back by that.
I'm very surprised by that. I am changing my pick right now live, and I will take Georgia because I thought you were taking Georgia for sure. But I got to catch up in the standings, and we're going to take Georgia. So standings need to be caught up on. Stetson Bennett's and been an absolute stud this year. Tons of yards. They can't get it done in the red zone quite for some reason. They have a lot of rushing touchdowns for Georgia. Georgia's defense obviously stacked with NFL players. Tons of talent, and they've performed very well this year. And they're at home. So I'm just going to take the home field in college football, and we're going to take Georgia. Georgia is 9-point favorites at home.
Oh, you have 9? They changed the line? Oh, okay. When I was writing my notes, it was an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, current line is 9, but...
Oh, okay. Wow, you would switch your pick just because I picked Tennessee.
I got to catch up.
But you're going to go deeper in the hole now
me
when Tennessee
time.
wins.
No.
Yeah, you are.
I'll take the favorite. I'll take the favorite at home.
All right. We were going to do, before we go to the next game, we were going to do Oregon, Washington. We didn't get this episode in time, obviously, so I just want to do a quick check. Oregon State, I should say. They're up 14-7 with less than a minute left in the first half. Number 23, Oregon State versus unranked Washington. Both teams, though, 6-2. So big Pac-12 game here tonight. Our next game, though, we want to talk about another big SEC matchup. We got Bama and LSU. Bama visiting LSU. That's a 6 o'clock game, national TV. Bama, surprisingly, 2 touchdown favorite here, 13.5-point spread on the road. I don't see it getting that big, but I do think that Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama's running back, will do a great job at controlling the clock this entire game. So I anticipate the time of possession being definitely in Alabama's favor, and they're going to get this game done. I think about probably a 10-point win. 38-28 is roughly what I'm thinking in this one. But I just think Alabama's they're just too loaded everywhere, offense and defense. LSU is obviously been playing well, especially Jaden Daniels, their quarterback, but I just don't think it'll be enough, even with the home field advantage.
Yeah, I like Bama, especially coming off a loss and all that going in. Not coming off a loss, but yeah, was that their last game? No, they played Mississippi State last week. I forgot.
Yeah.
So not coming off a loss. Yes, they did. But I think it'll continue for Bama. I've taken Saban over Kelly in that matchup as well. And I think that the only real chance for LSU is Jaden Daniels going nuts, which obviously can happen. Not saying it's not. He leads the team in passing and rushing. But I just have more faith in Bama, and I think that Bama's going to make a push to be in the playoffs.
We like hearing that from you, Spinny. We love that.
See, they at least –
I know that hurts you saying that.
It does. You at least know they have a shot at the SEC championship, though, probably, because they're going to win the West, and you got Georgia, Tennessee battling it on the other side. So
right.
they just
got the winner of that game is in.
The winner of that game is in. So they definitely have a shot.
Yeah, that's going to be tough looks because one of those, Tennessee or Georgia, they're obviously already both teams looking like they're good enough to be in, but whoever loses is going to be out because they're not going to make the SEC ship. And I don't know if they'll even though if they only end with one loss, I don't know if they'll let them in without an SEC championship. I don't know.
Unless Bama loses again, then I could see both those teams making it. If Bama has two losses.
Yeah. The winner of the Tennessee-Georgia game would need to beat Bama in the SEC championship for that other team to have a chance, for sure.
Yeah. And that other one-loss team, then you'd be a 2-loss versus 1 loss, especially if it's Tennessee with their resume. I can see that, them being let in. But we'll see.
Next game, also 6 o'clock game, number 24 Texas at number 13 K-State. Big 12 matchup here. Texas 2.5-point favorites on the road. I don't know. I'm taking K-State in this one. It's going to be close. They're coming off a 48-0 win last week against then-ranked number 9 OK State. So to absolutely destroy a team in your conference like that, that's supposed to be, at least at that time, a top 10 team in the country, that's incredible. They're obviously playing really well. But the story to obviously follow in this game is the battle of the running backs. 2 amazing running backs in this game, Deuce Vaughn, Bahan Robinson for Texas. That's going to be a story and event. I'm assuming kind of like the Jonathan Taylor Henry. We talked about those in the NFL, how whoever rushes better, that team's probably going to win. I think this is probably the same situation here. I think Deuce Vaughn has a little bit better of a game, but Jan Robinson's going to go off. He's going to eat like normal.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas State too. They showed me a lot last week against Oklahoma State, and obviously Ewers is back, so we'll get to see him in full performance against a good team. And I think this was a tough one for me. I really kind of wanted to pick Texas, but I'm gonna stay with Kansas State and my Big 12 Player of the Year prediction, Deuce Vaughn. So we're gonna stick with that.
Next game, 6:30 game. I think this one's on NBC or something. National television. It's number 4 Clemson at Notre Dame. This was obviously one that was circled coming into this season, but given Notre Dame losing a quarterback, losing a couple of games to start the season, they've kind of fallen off. They're not ranked anymore, but they're still 5-3. And an interesting note here, I think this game could become really interesting because both of these teams' last played opponent was Syracuse. And Clemson only won by 6. They shouldn't have even won that game. They came back at the end. But they only won by 6. And Notre Dame, on the other hand, beat Syracuse by 17. So we could actually have an interesting game on our hands here. A lot closer than people think. But I'm still taking Clemson, though.
Yeah. I wish we had CFB Mike on for this segment so he could take Notre Dame right here. But I'm not going to take Notre Dame. I'm going to take Clemson as well. I think it's just too overwhelming of a matchup. We'll see how Notre Dame is, obviously, post-quarterback loss. They haven't been the most amazing, but Prine is still – was Prine their starter? No.
Yeah. I think prime. Yeah.
So they still have a decent running game up there in at Notre Dame. So they could make something of it, but Clemson is just good this year, and DJ has turned it around quite a bit. He 17-4 with 1,800 yards, so he has turned into what a lot of people wanted him to be earlier, but he's really turning around for them this year, and I think it's too overwhelming of a matchup. As I said 3 times in that section. Sorry, Hardies and Hardos, we're just repeating ourselves. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
It's been a long week, but
my squad just lost a 5-setter, 2.5-hour match, so we're just trying to not melt their brain.
Yeah, that is tough. That's always tough to lose like that. But you mentioned the run game for Notre Dame. 185 yards per game for Clemson, 186 for Notre Dame. So both these teams heavily rely on the run. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of running in this game. But Clemson's defense only gives up 88 rush yards per game. So I think that's the difference. They got a better defense than Notre Dame. So that's why I got to go Clemson in this one. The last game we want to talk about, another ACC matchup. 2 ranked teams here. We got, for some reason I didn't write it down, number 20-some ranked Wake Forest against number 22 NC State. I'm going Wake Forest, honestly, pretty much just off the fact that there's no Devin Leary for NC State anymore. I'm not really trusting NC State now without Leary, and I think Wake has something. I think they're going to be angry and come ready to play in this one after getting absolutely obliterated, brutal loss, 48-21, their last game against Louisville. So I think they're going to come ready to play. They got something to prove, and I think they get the job done against NC State on the road.
And Sam Hartman has still had a pretty good year.
Right.
Couple bills in yards and 22 tutties and 6 picks. So he's still been a high performer for them this year. And again, NC State without Leary is meh. So I'm going to take Wake Forest as well.
So wow, we had the same picks except Tennessee, Georgia. No wonder why you switched.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll see I think you were only 1 behind me. So you're either going to be tied. Well, actually, I don't think we never added up our previous one, did we?
No, we did. We got 1 week that wasn't on that. So
yeah. So next week we'll update you guys on our record from this past 2 weeks. I think it was 11-6 and 10-7 or something like that heading in
that's
2 weeks ago. So
correct.
We'll update y'all on that next week. Now we're going to transition to our last segment here, and that's just a quick little NFL preview. Week 9 NFL preview. We're obviously going to start with the Vikings. We visit the Commanders, who are 4-4. We're only a 3-point favorite here. Honestly, that's kind of expected given we play on the road, and they're technically 500. So like they're not terrible. It's not a terrible team by any means.
No, that puts us at a neutral site 6-point favorite. So I think that is pretty what it is.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna win by a little more than that. I think we can win by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. I think Za'Darius, though, and Jefferson are just going to have monster games for us. Za'Darius will continue his rampage that he's been on these last couple games and carry the defense, and then Jefferson will carry the offense. That's just kind of what I anticipate in this game.
I just can't wait to watch TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, I know.
Can't wait.
Have you seen how many snaps he's playing? Is he like full go? Is he limited? I'm sure he's got to be limited.
They say he's ready to go, but they always say that, and the first week it's usually a little limited. But we'll see. I hope it's full go.
Yeah, the Vikings offense going forward should be very exciting.
Agreed. It would be a very Vikings thing to lose to Taylor Heineke, though. I will say that would be a classic move. And obviously, the Commanders' pass rush is very good still.
Yeah.
A bunch of first-round picks up there, and that's obviously can be an issue for the Vikes. So if that's going to be if they're going to lose, that's going to be the way. But I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the Vikings as well. I mean, I think we're looking at a 28-20.
Yeah, that 28-20, 8-point spread for you. That was same as mine. I had 32-24. That's my final. Yeah, I could easily see us scoring under 30 points, but yeah, I still think Jefferson's going to come off, have a monster day for us. And Za'Darius, man, he's playing like a DPOY out there. It's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
What we're paying like this year, we're only paying like 500 or 600,000 or something ridiculously low on his contract, and the Packers paying the rest. It's awesome. The rest. We love that.
We do.
Honestly, though, a lot of matchups this week are kind of meh in my eyes. I don't really care about a lot of the matchups this week. But another one we're going to talk about is the Rams at the Bucks, 3-4 and 3-5 for the Bucks. Bucks 3-point favorite at home. This is obviously not where we expected either team to be at this point of the season. If you would have told me coming into this season or before the season that when we get to this game, both of these teams would be under 500, yeah, no chance I would have believed you. But that's the reality that we're at. This could be a really ugly game. I'm anticipating an ugly game here, as both defenses are good and both offenses have been playing terribly, obviously. And it could get even worse for the Rams if Kupp doesn't play in this game. Rumors are that he's going to play, but if he doesn't play, we're talking a team that might only score 10 points.
Yeah, right? Stafford's been 7 touchdowns, 8 picks so far this year, and only 1,700 yards. In reference, right, we're thinking Brady's had a down year, right? That's what we're on that train. He's looking a little bad. 9-1 and 2,200 yards. So we're talking 500 more yards and way much better touchdown to interception ratio. So I get the talk. Their offense is obviously not good, but I don't think Brady's as down as everyone thinks. And I think once the offense finally comes together, it could be a different story.
He's battled health issues for his receivers all season. So
and the starting center getting hurt and the backup center getting hurt,
right,
and the right guard getting hurt,
his whole entire right tackle line,
or left tackle, Wirfs plays right tackle. Wirfs has been the only one healthy basically the whole time.
Yeah, so to deal with all that shit and still only have one interception, that good of a touchdown interception ratio, second in the NFL in yards. Yeah, he's definitely having a better season than people think, because people think like he's as bad as Matt Stafford right now, but that's obviously not the case. But yeah, I guess this is going to be an ugly game. I really honestly don't anticipate either team scoring over 20, 21 points. I think it'll be about 20-13 final score, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I think the Bucs will pull it out. I hate to say this right now, and maybe not as much for the Rams, but this is probably a must-win for the Bucs. Like 3-6, especially at home, losing to the Rams at home when you're 3-5 to go to 3-6, that's a big loss. 4-5 is looking a lot better than 3-6 at this point in the season. Rams obviously would go to 3-5 with a loss, but I don't know. I think for the Bucs, at least, this might be a must-win. Antoine Winfield Jr. out again, and Carlton Davis and Akeem Hicks both questionable, as well as Murphy Bunting. So Winfield, Carlton Davis, and Murphy Bunting, bunch of D-backs out for the Bucs, as has been the case for the last 3 years. But yeah,
at least that's probably not going to matter for the Bucs because
because Devin Skoronek's the WR2 and the Rams. So
the Rams receivers are just a joke. So that probably won't be an issue for the Bucs. Our last game we're going to talk about here is the only game other than obviously our Vikings that I'm actually truly interested in, and that is the Sunday Night Football game. 5-2 Titans are visiting the 5-2 Chiefs. This is going to be a great game. Chiefs are 12.5-point favorite. I'm taking the Titans on that line. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Do you?
No, I don't. And I don't know. I think the Titans have a way of making it close with Derrick Henry. He's looked more like himself the last couple of weeks, and I think they're itching, got something to prove. Obviously, Mahomes is going to cut up the Titans' defense, so their best hope is ball control with Henry. And I think if they can accomplish that, if they can even half accomplish that and keep the game within reach, the 12.5-point spread is a ton.
Yeah. The Titans, you said it perfectly. Titans 100% need to control time of possession to win this game. If they don't, they're going to lose. And I will even go as far as saying they're not going to win this game unless Henry has over 100 rushing yards, which, I mean, the way he's been playing, he's probably
not
getting 100
asking a lot.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm still going to take the Chiefs here at home. I think Mahomes steps up, plays really well, especially down the stretch in the second half. So I'm definitely taking under that spread, keeping it about a touchdown, 28-21 is the score roughly I'm thinking here. But yeah, I think Mahomes is going to step up and take care of business, get the job done. One other thing to watch in this game, though, Tannehill is truly questionable heading into this game, so Malik Willis might be getting his second career NFL start, and he did not look good last week. So
he did not. If Malik's starting, I think I'll go 28-17 Chiefs.
I like that. Yeah, a little more spread if Malik's in, but Tannehill's playing. They definitely can get this W. So we'll see. Sunday Night Football, that's one to watch for this week. So that's all we got for y'all. Episode 34. Look for us next week to be back on track with our Dubs and L's. It's been a minute. We got some good ones.
Yeah, we do.
I'm ready to look back. Yeah, well, both sides.
Yeah.
Good Dubs, terrible L's. So keep an eye out for that, and definitely stay tuned for episode 34 or 35 because we love doing that segment. It's so fun to rip
roast
ourselves and rip each other. Roast me? I'm going to be roasting you for all these brutal MLB takes you had this year.
Yeah, okay, sure. Phillies, yep, good one. But yeah, this is it. That was the Paul Pierce episode. Stay tuned for the Kevin Durant episode, and we'll get to you.
Don't end the episode before I ask you a Q&A.
Oh.
Q&A. As if we don't do this 95% of our episodes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm always excited for it. Did we get a good question?
No, we didn't get a question, but I made up a question.
Ooh.
And it's just, Spinny, give me one or two things that have really surprised you so far to start the NBA season.
Ooh, the NBA season?
NBA season.
Ooh.
Yep. I'll let you think for a little bit because since I made up the question, I already had things obviously in mind. First thing, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, how freaking good has he been so far to start this season? It wasn't a huge surprise, but definitely surprised me to see him ball out like this. As we speak right now, he's 32 points per game, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2.5 steals, and a block. So the dude is just getting it done everywhere. Offense, defense, playmaking, rebounding, everything. So, I mean, wow. Think about that Paul George trade. They traded, 6-7 picks and Shai to the Thunder. So, yeah, that's definitely looking good on the Thunder's end. And
I got one first.
Go ahead.
The Cavs. Clicking well so quick.
8-1.
Donovan Mitchell. 7-1. Donovan Mitchell scoring over 30 a game. 30 and 7 assists from Donovan Mitchell. And that's not to mention, I know he's only played in 3 games, but Garland also has 7.5 assists and 6.3 assists from Karis LeVert. So they're just spreading the ball in Cleveland, and it's been working. And Mitchell's been on some type of way, just absolutely balling. Mobley still averaging 1 steal, 1 block per game, plus 6 rebounds and 15.5 points too. So Jared Allen's rebounding 12 rebounds a game. Just been absolutely crazy. Donovan Mitchell, 1.5 steals a game as well for him, which is crazy from the defense he played in Utah. So I've just been surprised by how quick it was just like, boom, we're good with Cavs.
Yeah, and talking about sharing the ball, I'm looking at their box score from tonight. They took care of business 112-88 against the Pistons. You got Mobley 11, Jared Allen 23, LeVert 15, K Love 21, 10, and 8 off the bench.
What?
K Love had 10 assists.
10 assists?
8 rebounds. 21, 10, and 8 for K Love in 23 minutes off the bench.
How do you get 21, 10, and 8 in 23 minutes?
This is some 2K numbers for K Love tonight.
That's 30. We're just gonna say it's all twos. That's 41 points responsible for, or 43 points responsible for in 21 minutes.
Yeah, for a post. Kevin Love, baller tonight. Mitchell actually sat out tonight. So did Garland. So their best two players weren't even playing tonight, and they still absolutely killed the Pistons. Osman also had 15 off the bench, and Raul Neto had 10, 5, and 5.
Raul Neto had, jeez.
10, 5, and 5. Osman 15, 6, and 4.
They just got the stuff going. The stuff's flowing in Cleveland.
Yeah, that is definitely surprising. I like that one. One other thing I'm going to shout out is my man, Keldon Johnson, shutting Spinny up to start this season. I roll. Spinny's going to eat his words on trying to say that Keldon is not a potential star way back when we did the tiers of the NBA. That was ridiculous.
23, 5, and 4 when he's got the ball in his hands every freaking second.
Yeah, see, he always has to find something to just degrade him. He's top 20 in the NBA in scoring right now, and Spinny's just still not giving him his respect.
No, I'm not.
Top 20 in scoring, like you said, 23.9 points per game. And he's got 4 threes per game at a 44% clip. He's actually shooting threes now. Yeah, it's over. It is over. This man is going to be a star. I don't care what you say, Spinny.
We'll see.
If he can maintain that, if he can stay above 40%, last year he shot 39% from three, but he only shot like 3 times a game. This year he's already shooting 8 threes a game. If he keeps staying aggressive from the 3-point line, which he's obviously going to need to because just a lot of players the Spurs have, yeah. I don't know, Spinny. That's something to watch, man.
It might be an L, but I'm doubling down on it. I'm doubling down and saying that he is only good because he's on a crappy team. He would not be influentially good on a winning team. Also, the Wolves have made a comeback, and they're only down 11 with 4 minutes left.
Who cares? We lost the game.
No, we didn't. It's not over.
We're not winning down 10 with 4 minutes left on the road to a team that won an NBA championship a couple years ago.
Why?
Have the best player in the league on their team.
Your attitude. With your attitude, they're not winning, of course. But
all right, maybe Ant will just put us on his back and
and Rudy will shut Giannis down, and we'll call it good.
Shut Giannis down.
Yeah, like that's possible.
But all right, y'all. That was actually it for episode 34. Appreciate y'all for listening once again. And Spinny, you really gotta just do something annoying like that to end the episode.
Yeah, of course I do. Would you be surprised with any less?
I'm sorry, Hardies and Harlows, that you guys have to deal with this man every episode. I don't know how y'all do it. Honestly, let's be real. Y'all are here to listen to me. That's for sure.
Yeah, because people just like you more than me. Sure. Yep, totally. We should have a poll so I can embarrass Bus. It'd be awesome.
Well, all right. We're cutting off this episode before Spinny says anything else stupid.
Peace and love. Hug your friends and family.
See y'all.